we go again?
Oh, no, not again.
You've seen it before, haven't you?
Dom, how long have we been doing this?
Once more unto the bridge. Dear friends.
Again and again and again until we're both dead.
Hello and welcome to You've Seen It Before, movie reviews and connections in mind. This is a little more informal review that I'm putting out this time since it's been at least a week since the film in question came out, and I'm a little behind. I wasn't planning on seeing this, however, it worked out this way that I got to see The Invisible Man, directed by Leigh Whannell and starring Elisabeth Moss, with my good friend Sam here. Hello.
Hello.
We're just going to do a little brief review of what we thought of the movie. We just came out of it, and we are also just going to do a brief little analysis of things that we thought worked and what didn't work, and some homages perhaps of things that you may have seen before. So first, Sam, why don't we start with you? What did you think of the movie?
Well, it had a lot of jump scares, you know, not for the younger audience, obviously, but I enjoyed it. It could have been set up a little better in the way that the plot was. It came about, like, it came too soon for, like, it didn't have enough explaining. I also thought that the whole Invisible Man idea was pretty cool. I like that. I've never seen it before, like that kind of like structure of a movie. I really liked it. I really did.
Yeah. I enjoyed it as well. I thought with the Invisible Man, they did a nice 21st century update of the character, especially I believe in the original it was more of an like a chemical approach that they did, and the focus was more on the doctor and what he was going through being the Invisible Man, whereas in this movie it's focusing mainly on Elisabeth Moss's character Cecilia, who her abusive boyfriend, who she's been trying to get away from, fakes his own death, and he himself becomes the Invisible Man through the use of a suit of some sort, and this is he uses this to essentially continue his abuse of this poor woman, and the movie focuses on her not being able to convince anyone that she is in fact being stalked by her ex-boyfriend there, and obviously the subject of gaslighting is full on in effect on that one. What did you think of the acting, the performances?
I think the main actress did a pretty good job in her role as like, people thought she convinced us that she was psychotic, how other people would have felt not knowing her story, but she also convinced us that she had this deep hatred inside of her, from her ex, obviously. I feel like she showed her one side that she showed that other people believed, like how I would see it if she said that an invisible man was stalking her and it was her ex-boyfriend who faked her death. I could see that side of her, but I can also see the side where no one believes her and like she's going through all this by herself, and I can also see that side of her. So she did a really good job with that. James, was it, the police officer? Yes. He did good in his role. I really liked his role, and at the beginning when she moved in with James, I was confused on that whole thing, how she didn't move in with her sister, but she moved in with James, but then I figured it out later. And near the end, the ex-boyfriend, I didn't really like him. He wasn't too convincing. We just knew he was the entire time. But when the crazy plot twist happened, I think the actors and actresses did a very good job in this movie.
I agree. Yes, this whole movie is carried by Elisabeth Moss. She did a fantastic job, and she portrays her state of mind very well. I thought she's she's put together when she in certain scenes when she needs to be, and she very convincingly portrays being mentally not quite unhinged, but getting like the getting there, and the effects that people, like your whole reality is getting thrown into question there. That would obviously be a scary experience. She portrayed that very well. Like I said before, I enjoyed there were 2 homages that I saw to the original Invisible Man. One being the coat rack in the little girl in the teenage girl's room, and a burn patient. The way the bandages were on his face, those are direct homages to the 1930, I believe 32 or 33 original, of how they were showing him as the Invisible Man. And but other than that, I thought this was again a well put together film, and very similar to films that we have seen where people kind of question their own realities. You've seen characters question their own realities in the past with things such as like Cobb in Inception, and other films that I can't think of off the top of my head. But trust me, I will put a list in the description below of films that that carry that. But yeah, overall, I would say it's only really a commentary on the theater going experience, where I personally am not huge into horror films. I know this is the first horror film that you saw seen in theaters, and I mean, jump scares are a way of horror films, in general, and just, I know in other movie-going experiences, sound plays an important part, but it's really the only reason I jumped at those scares is because the sound was incredibly loud, and this is a problem I ran into when I saw Blade Runner 2049 in theaters, where I loved what I saw on the screen, but the sound was just so loud, and I'm not the only person to complain about this, so theater owners, if you're listening, maybe turn the sound down just a little bit. But overall, I would say, if I was going to give The Invisible Man a letter grade, I would say this is a solid A-, I would say. I agree they could have developed some things a little bit better. Some of the plot twists could have been a little bit better fleshed out, and our main villain, once he was finally revealed, it was sort of a letdown compared to what we had built him up to be throughout the entire story. And that may well be the point where we're still, as an audience member, questioning certain things. But in my general impression, I think that maybe that could have been a little bit better spelled out, so that we gotta have a little more basis for our speculation going into out of the theater. But yeah, overall, A-. Definitely worth seeing in theaters if you're a horror fan, if you're a fan of Blumhouse films. And yeah, this is one of those films that was supposed to be part of the Universal Dark Universe starring Johnny Depp, but of course, after The Mummy with Tom Cruise failed abysmally, they had to revamp their plans. And so far, if they're going to go down this route, I would be interested to see what they do with maybe a Wolfman film or a Dracula film. Dracula would be good. Yeah, so overall, yeah, that's all my thoughts for there. Do you have any final thoughts to add?
Yeah, I would agree with your decision with the A-. I agree that they could have added a little more to the Invisible Man's character, given more background instead of just the beginning, seeing him, and then seeing him in the car scene. I felt it was just completely obvious at first, which it should be, because you know, he's a crazy ex. But even seeing the plot twist, we knew that something was fishy, and we knew that something was going on, and we knew that it was obvious what it was supposed to be. Maybe if they hid that a little more and made it a bigger plot twist that made my jaw drop, that would have been like giving it an A+.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you all for viewing. I appreciate whatever audience I can get. Thank you so much for Sam for lending your thoughts to this video. And yeah, if you liked this video or any other video on my channel, please give me a like, share, and especially a subscribe. I'd very much appreciate it. Again, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. Next on my docket, nothing so far for the month of March, but next, I believe, unless any release dates change, it will be for New Mutants, which comes out April 3rd, I believe. And yeah, be sure to look out for that. Again, thank you so much for watching, but just remember, there is nothing new under the sun. And yes, you have seen it before.
Check out Jesus Lover 24.
Yes, sir.